McPherson. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about law enforcement managers and what their job entails. Behind every organization or any unit, there has to be somebody behind the scenes working, and this is what law enforcement managers do. In any state, you have the local police, which is the town or city police. Then you have the sheriff's office, which deals with mostly judiciary stuff. And then you have different law enforcement agencies, such as the FBI, the CIA, and the State Department. Everybody has their role to play. Now, when a crime gets reported to a law enforcement manager, as my little helper here will show you, that there are three main things that they have to consider. They have to consider jurisdiction, the type of crime, the location of the crime, and the person committing the crime. The reason for this is that the case cannot be prosecuted or taken to court without taking all these areas into consideration, because it depends on the crime, where it occurred, and who's committing it for it to be, and whose jurisdiction it is. So when you determine which jurisdiction, who has jurisdiction over this particular crime, then that's when the investigation starts and the crime will be able to go to court and be prosecuted. It could stand up against the defense in court. Lots of things cause overlapping sometimes too, and this is, law enforcement managers have to be mindful of this. It depends on if it's a traffic ticket, then definitely local police and law enforcement deals with that. If it's a murder or kidnapping or espionage or somebody assaulting a federal worker, or so each of those things, if it's something to do with the military deals with it. If it has to do with the post office worker or somebody steals somebody's mail, then that becomes a federal crime. So the federal agencies deal with it. However, here's where the overlap comes in. If a child or individuals are kidnapped, it can now become not just a local crime, but the FBI becomes involved in that particular scenario. So this is how they overlap. So they overlap, the type of crime, and like I said, kidnapping, espionage, drug trafficking, all of these types of crimes are going to overlap with the different agencies, local and state and federal. The location where it occurs is another area of overlapping, and then the person, because the person could be somebody who escaped from federal prison 10 years ago and moved to a state and committed another crime. So now all the agencies are going to overlap because they still have a warrant out looking for this person. Now, police and law enforcement managers are all FBI, CIA, everybody plays a very important part in governing our society. And so because of that, we have to recognize that the job of the law enforcement managers is a very stressful and heavy job in order to get everything together. If you have any questions at this point, or if you would like to add something at this point, the floor is open.
Yes. What about if the crime is, is a cyber crime, like somebody steal your identity from like a foreign country?
Well, if let's say you went on vacation to Jamaica or any other Caribbean island, if you committed a crime there, then those law enforcement agencies in that particular country would be responsible. So if you went on vacation and you swiped your credit card, and by doing so somebody stole your identity. I think it's a dual agency, because now the U.S. is going to have to get involved, and local police in that particular area. That's how I see a cybercrime.